What's the best roller coaster at Universal Orlando? In today's challenge, I'm riding all of them to find out. Talking just roller coaster specific, there are 8 coasters here at Universal Orlando. And we're at Universal now, so things are definitely kicked up a notch from when we did the Disney ranking last week. We're talking higher heights, thrillier thrills, loopier loops. We are starting this epic throwdown with a visit to my favorite theme park land in the entire universe. The immense joy I feel walking into this land is unmatched. We are, of course, in Diagon Alley. This is the Wizarding World of Harry Potter land in the Universal Studios, Florida Park. It's absolutely incredible. It's the most immersive land I've ever been in my whole life. I love it. I could spend hours and have spent hours just walking around, looking at the different signs and the props and looking for details and Easter eggs, and it's just magic. Magic's the only way to describe it. And we are headed to Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringots, which takes place inside Gringots, fittingly. Like many attractions here at Universal Orlando, they do have lockers that you are required to put your things into before you board this attraction. That's for safety reasons, so you can't have a backpack, you can't have a purse. You can keep a lanyard on around your neck, and pro tip, wear a fanny pack. So I know you're all surprised to know that my very stylish shoulder bag is actually a shark-themed fanny pack. I bought it here at Universal Orlando, hashtag not an ad, but it's very sleek and stylish, and I can take it on the ride with me. So if you want the quickest way to get on the rides, wear a fanny pack. They're cool again, guys. Another quick tip here at Gringots, they have a single rider line. So it usually gets a pretty long line here, and if you don't have Universal Express Pass, you may want to jump in the single rider line. The bad thing about the single rider line is you miss a lot of the incredible queue. You see it like from the side here, but you don't get the full experience. This is quite possibly the best themed queue of all time. It's between this and another one on our list today, but the queue takes you inside Gringotts Bank, where they've got animatronics of the goblins working. You've got these incredible chandeliers. It feels like you are inside Gringotts in here. And even if you don't want to ride this attraction, if you're worried that the 3D might make you nauseous, I absolutely recommend coming into the queue. And like I said, the single rider line kind of routes you to the side, but it's a great choice if you want to ride again, or it's a super long line like it often has here. Now I'm wondering if you miss a lot of the pre-show with the single rider line. I feel like yes is the answer. So I'm not going to recommend the single rider line if you've never been before. Yeah, we are immediately walking up, which is awesome. I've not really had to stop, which moves a lot faster than other single rider lines we're gonna get to in this video. But you're missing the entire pre-show, you're missing the elevator ride, you're missing some more elements of the queue, and you're gonna be split from your party. So it's up to you. I would say the first time you ride this, go through the regular queue, or ideally go through Express, because you've listened to me and you've booked a night at one of the resorts that gives you free Express Pass. And this does take Express, so, you know. I think it's safe to say we all know the theming score on this one's gonna be high. But what about the thrill score? Escape from Gringotts is so much fun. It's a pretty technologically advanced ride as well. It combines an actual roller coaster track, or I also would be doing this, but they actually lift the cars up at one point and to do a slope. Takes off pretty quick. Then it's also in 3D mixed with simulator. It does make some people very nauseous because of the different mixes of technology, so just keep that in mind. If you are someone that gets sick on motion simulators, you may get sick on this attraction. As far as theming goes, it's gotta be a 5, right? Well, on the outside, it obviously is a hard 5 when you've got incredible, it's literally got a fire-breathing dragon and like that incredible queue. But this takes place at a very specific moment in the Harry Potter series, in Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, when our trio is in disguise, breaking into Gringotts, trying to get the Horcrux out of Bellatrix Lestrange's vault. And you're telling me that he just tells Bill Weasley willy-nilly, we got the Horcrux. I did not buy it, and I want to dock at a theming point, but I won't, because these are just the ramblings of a lunatic, and it's obviously a hard 5 for theming. For intensity though, this is what I'm gonna remind you, that we are ranking these rides against each other. This is a Universal scale of intensity, much, much different than a Disney scale. This would be very high on the Disney scale of intensity. It would probably be a 4 or 5. But here at Universal, it's gonna get a 3. Mostly what's gonna make people nauseous is the simulator scenes, and it's a very fun, very incredible attraction. There are definitely some whoosh moments where you kind of get your heart all aflutter, but when you see other things we are gonna conquer in this video, it'd be unfair to rank it higher than that. But this is an incredible attraction, one of my favorites in the parks. Definitely ride it, but this one rounds out an 8. We are here at our next coaster, Revenge of the Mummy. I can't wait to ride. It's gonna be so fun. Oh no. Who knew? I knew. It's been closed for a while, and as you can see, it says reopening late summer 2022. I talked to Universal PR. They said they're just updating the attraction, giving it a little TLC, and that Brendan Fraser should still be asking for his cup of coffee at the end. So we're just gonna talk about the Mummy, or you know what? I'm gonna reenact it real quick so you can get the real feel of the attraction. You are on the set of a Mummy film starring Brendan Fraser. Everyone loves it, and everyone on set except Brendan Fraser believes in the curse of the Mummy, you dummy. We are on a dark ride going through. Hey, look, there's a team member. Oh my God, he gets murdered right in front of our eyes. This is very graphic. Your souls are mine. This would have been a lot more fun if I'd got my cup of coffee. Wow, what a great ride. Did you feel like you were there? We are gonna give the Mummy a hard 5 as far as theme goes. I love the theme of being on a movie set. That's so it's really fun when you go through this queue because it is half behind the scenes of a film and then half actual Mummy set. It's really dark and spooky in there. There's interactive elements in the queue, and the attraction is part dark ride, part roller coaster. There's literally fire on the ceiling. There are some nods to King Kong because Confrontation used to be here, which are fun Easter eggs to look for. It is a super fun attraction. The takeoffs are unexpected and exciting. You go multiple ways in your car. It is a great attraction. It's definitely a 5 as far as the theming goes. It carries out throughout the attraction as soon as you step foot in the queue. To the moment you leave, you are fully immersed into the Mummy theme. It's a little more intense than Gringots, which is why it's getting a 3.5 on the thrill scale. It is part dark ride, part roller coaster. There's no screens, so it tends to make some people less nauseous because there's not that motion simulator effect going. However, while it is a fun coaster and certainly more intense than most things you're going to ride at Walt Disney World, again, we have to compare it to other things at Universal. And we've got things like that coming up. So it definitely can't reach the 4 or 5 limit as far as thrills go. It's an A+ attraction. I can't wait for it to reopen. So you know you'll see me here whenever it does. But Revenge of the Mummy, an amazing attraction, is the next one on our list. Hello? Did you escape from in there? Oh, this is stressing me out a little bit. It's very tall. It's a magic. Okay, well, you have a good day. Oh my God, I feel like I'm being cursed right now. I gotta get out of here. All right, for this next coaster, we're kicking it up a notch. 167 feet. It is time to rip it and rock it, because it's Hollywood Rip Ride Rocket time. This attraction is possibly the scariest of any at Universal Orlando, thanks to this vertical lift, which goes straight up to the tippy top, again 167 feet tall. It reaches top speeds of 65 miles an hour, but oh my gosh, that part is so stressful because it moves that slow and you do not think you're gonna make it up and over, but you do. You do a loop, but you actually don't ever go upside down because it spins you up at the top there. Lots of intense drops and dips. Certainly gets the thrill meter pumping. You also get to select a song. It's similar to Rock and Roller Coaster in that you have music blaring in your ears the whole time. However, you get to select whatever song you want. And bonus, there's a secret menu of songs. You can ask a team member for a list of there, but 903 is Rainbow Connection by Kermit, which I highly recommend. Okay, let's go. Unlike attractions like Escape from Gringots, you have to put everything in a locker. You're gonna go through metal detectors. So you cannot bring a fanny pack on this one. You cannot bring a phone on this one. You have to put everything in a locker. Lockers are free for the small ones.
Stay with me.
$2 for the big ones, and let's find a locker, shall we? To get a free locker, all you need is your park ticket, scan it, it'll open up for you. Make sure to take whatever you use to open the locker with you. Put it in your pocket, and all right, here we go. Gives me a headache. It's not smooth. Like when you ride some of these newer coasters, they are so smooth and so delicate. It feels like your head is being cradled, and this one feels like your head is ping-ponging back and forth like a ball. It is not my favorite attraction. It doesn't scare me as much as it makes me get a headache. So warning on that one. Rip Ride Rocket, as far as the theme goes, we're gonna give it a 2. Because there's not a whole lot of theme here, but you get bonus points for being able to pick your own song, and you get another bonus point for having Kermit be one of those choices. But of course, it's not anywhere near as themed as something like anything in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, or even Revenge of the Mummy. Thrill level, we are gonna give it a 4.5. And I know you're shocked that it's not getting a hard 5, but we have some hard 5s coming up. And while the lift is incredibly terrifying and nerve-wracking, it's not as fast as some of the other coasters on this list. There's not an additional launch point at anywhere on the coaster like there are on some others on this list. There's nothing really unexpected about it. It's kind of a you get what you get basic roller coaster. So while it's definitely kicked up a notch from Mummy and Gringots, it's not gonna get the full 5 yet because we have to reserve that for only the elite thrills. All right, well, we're done here at Universal Studios Florida, so we can head over to Islands of Adventure. Wait. I forgot one. I forgot a coaster. That's right, friends. We are headed to Woody Woodpecker's Kid Zone to ride the Nut House Coaster. The Kid Zone here is, as it would suggest, designed for children. However, it does contain some top hits, like E.T., an incredible attraction, and one of my faves, the DreamWorks Destination Character Dance Party, where you can often boogie on down with characters such as my friend and yours, Guy Diamond, the glittery troll. But we're not doing that today. Today, we have the honor, the privilege of riding the Nut House Coaster. This does have Express Pass, but you probably don't need it. It's your kid coaster, it's your Barnstormer. Are you a screwball? Oh, Woody Woodpecker, you and your jokes. If so, you will love Woody's Nut House. Oh, wow, okay. The jokes are flying. Welcome to the Laugh Path. Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster, check. It's a cute kids coaster. Kids on it were laughing, screaming. It's a great kids first coaster. Very short, similar to the Barnstormer. Maybe a little, slightly bit more thrilling if you were to sit in the back than the Barnstormer, with some of the curves are a little more bankable, I guess. But it's obviously a 1 on the thrill scale. You cannot compare this to Rip Ride Rocket or Hulk or Velocicoaster and not give it the furthest possible thing from the top. But it's gonna get a 2 as far as the theme goes. It's got this cute Woody Woodpecker theme. This whole area's got a cute theme to it. You've got Curious George's Water Park over there. And then it's under refurbishment right now, but you have the Feifel Playground. The problem is, while this area is very cute and themed, nobody knows who this is. I don't think any kids know who Woody Woodpecker is, and it's certainly nowhere near as themed as Wizarding World of Harry Potter, Mummy, Velocicoaster. So we're gonna give it a 2 for a theme, 1 on the thrill scale, putting this at a tight 3. Okay, now it's time to go to Islands of Adventure, and I checked the app, and the Hogwarts Express only had a 15-minute wait. So obviously, we're going on the train, baby, a little bonus ride. Friendly reminder that this is a mode of transportation in between the two theme parks, so you have to have a ticket with park-to-park capabilities to ride it. It gets a really long line in the middle of the day because that's when people are park hopping, and it moves really slow to load and unload. So it's much faster to walk usually, but when it only has a 20 or less minute wait, I like to ride it because duh. This one does have Express Pass, and if you get Express Pass, I highly recommend using it here because again, this is very popular with a very low capacity. Bye! I have made it to Hogsmeade and Islands of Adventure, where we have 4 more thrills to behold. And as much as I would love to step foot into Hogsmeade right now and ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, which you know is coming, we're going this way first. Hagrid's has a 90-minute wait right now, and I'm hungry. Those are 2 different thoughts, but both applicable to why we're going this way. I'm gonna mix it up and eat somewhere I don't think I've ever eaten on camera. Show y'all another option here in Universal. Additionally, I'm gonna hope Hagrid's drops a little bit. It's the middle of the day. Sometimes in the afternoon it'll drop just a bit. Oh, and is timing on our side because these doors are opening. And who could it be? Oh, some safari ladies. We love it. Oh, King Julian! I would like to dance with King Julian. Hi, King Julian! Oh, yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. He is crushing. The next attraction on our list is the Incredible Hulk coaster. But we're gonna get our food first because there's nothing smarter than eating lunch and then being blasted out of the lift on the Incredible Hulk coaster. This is a very smart decision I'm making right now. We're gonna snag some lunch at Cafe 4. This is just a classic quick service restaurant here in Marvel Superhero Island. They have pizza, pastas, breadsticks, meatball sub, chicken parm. It's pretty generic, but I think Universal actually does pizza pretty well, especially compared to puffy round pizzas at Disney. So let's try it. If available, you definitely want to mobile order, especially it's peak lunchtime right now, which is usually one of my tips is don't eat now, but you can't help when you get hungry, I guess. Or I could have just not had only a large coffee for breakfast. But you know what? Do as I say, not as I do. And you can see the long line to order there, or you can mobile order, and then either you'll have a tag on your table that you scan in the app, or you can manually enter a number. So she had me manually enter in 20, and now I'm just waiting for my food. It only took like 5 or so minutes and my food is here, which is frankly much faster than I thought it would be. So again, recommend mobile ordering before you come in and sit down. That way you just have to sit, plug in your number, and you're good to go. I just got one of the jumbo slices. This is the veggie jumbo slice. You can do it as a combo with like a salad, but I just wanted a piece of pizza. They also have pepperoni, they've got cheese. It's the same pizza as Louis' over in the other park. It tastes like mall pizza, but you know what? I'm into it. Like I said, it's basically mall pizza. It reminds me of Sparrow, but it's better than puffy pizza at Disney. This is a veggie, so it's got tons of veggies on it. I put some red pepper flakes on there for a little bit of spice. It does the job well if you want just something quick and simple like pizza. They do sell whole pizzas. They're around $40, which sounds like a lot for like a pizza, but if you were to split that between several people, that's actually not that expensive for a theme park meal. And while I obviously recommend eating something more exciting, going to the Wizarding World or getting the Cat in the Hat tachos or something on City Walk, if you got picky eaters, if you just want something simple and quick, this is pretty good pizza for quick service at a theme park. All right, hey, let's go ride Hulk. This is a terrible idea, but Incredible Hulk coaster puts you into the gamma radiation testing. General Thaddeus Ross is looking for more people to test out gamma radiation, and you are going to be one of the test subjects. And things get a little bit crazy, as you can imagine. Incredible Hulk coaster has 7 inversions. It reaches a top speed of 67 miles an hour. It is 110 feet tall. There is a tire launch out of this tube down through your first inversion. They literally were afraid they were gonna knock the power out of Orlando with how much power it takes to launch this coaster over and over again. It has its own powerhouse because of that. But one of the best things about this coaster is actually the soundtrack, which I don't think a lot of people expect when you hear Incredible Hulk. I know you expect good music on Harry Potter, on Velocicoaster, even on The Mummy, but the Incredible Hulk coaster has an exclusive soundtrack that was written by Patrick Stump of Fall Out Boy. The lead singer of Fall Out Boy wrote this awesome soundtrack. It's incredible. Let's get on the ride. Now, Hulk is like Rip Ride Rocket in that you have to put everything into your locker. There are no bringing anything on, so you're going through metal detectors again, so you gotta put up everything. I'm gonna go in the single rider line and clock it. I've actually never gone in the single rider line, I don't think, on this attraction. It only has a 45-minute wait, which isn't too long, but I want to see how the single rider line is, and it's not like I'm gonna miss a really cool queue the way I would at some others. I don't recommend eating right now. For the record, it took about 30 minutes from when I left my locker to get back to my locker, which includes waiting in the single rider queue and actually riding the ride and then fighting my way back to my locker. It's already dropped to a 35-minute posted wait, so single rider didn't really save me that much time. So if you'd rather hang out with your friends and family, you might want to do that. Or if it's like an hour plus wait, then you might want to consider single rider. Incredible Hulk coaster, for the theming, we're gonna give it a 3. It's a fun theme. There's definitely elements of Marvel in there. Again, remember, this is comic book Marvel, not MCU Marvel, and there are nods to Stan Lee and different things, but it's just not as over-the-top immersive theming as you see at things like Harry Potter and the Escape from Gringots, Velocicoaster, etc. So we're gonna go ahead and give it a 3. But on the thrill factor, Hulk is getting a hard 5. I mean, anything with 7 inversions, 110-foot lift, a launch out of the tube at a moment's notice, you never know when it's gonna happen. It's gotta be a full 5. This is definitely a super fun thrill ride. I will say it's not quite as, could you guys be quiet? It's not quite as smooth as Velocicoaster, but it's definitely far more smooth than Rip Ride Rocket. So Hulk is a blast. It's a classic thrill, and it ends with a final score of an 8. We've made it back to the wizarding world of Harry Potter, where Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM still has a 90-minute wait. So we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it in hopes that the other 2 things on the list drop, because we know Hagrid's probably won't for a while. Ugh, we love the train right here. Now I do get to bypass the lockers again because of my cool shark fanny pack. Again, fanny packs can save you time. It's called fashion, look it up. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM does not have Express Pass, but it is often open for early theme park entry if you are a resort guest. So I usually recommend coming here first, rope dropping, early theme park entry as a resort guest, jumping on this one, jumping on Velocicoaster, and then you can use that Express Pass throughout the rest of the day. Hagrid, are you in there? I'm hot. Do you have any, like, water or a nice iced tea or anything I could possibly? No? All right. I do love this queue. It's incredibly well themed. Basically, we are headed into an old part of Hogwarts. You can see on the wall here, Dueling Club. And it's kind of dilapidated, but of course students have snuck in and made some fun. And oh my gosh, I think the pre-show's running. Oh, I'm giddy. I'm so happy the pre-show's back. That explains that we are supposed to be going to a Care of Magical Creatures lesson, but Arthur Weasley tinkered with Sirius's motorbike and he had a Dragonfire. it gives you the backstory. I'm so glad it's back. I don't even care that much that it got me a little wet because I forgot about that part. I forgot that there are effects in the pre-show, and I just love a pre-show. I think it completes the experience. So the pre-shows at Walt Disney World are where the clock typically stops. That's definitely not the case here because we're like halfway through the queue, but it was a nice little moment. Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM has 7 different launches. It only goes up to 50 miles an hour though, which is fast for a Disney attraction, but not super fast when you compare it to some of these others here at Universal Orlando. It doesn't have any upside down moments or huge drops like on a roller coaster drop. However, there is a part where the track literally drops out from under you while it drops with you and you drop straight down, similar to the drop on Rise of the Resistance. There's also one part where you go straight up but then shoot backwards, and the backwards part throws a lot of people off. So much. First of all, I only waited like an hour and 10-ish, so that's better than 90. Second of all, I mean, that ride is so much fun. I cannot hype it up enough. Even if you're not a Harry Potter person, I feel like you should ride it because it's just a blast. It's just fun. Like, it's like a big dumb smile on my face the whole time. Just fun, screaming, laughing. There's so much Harry Potter in it. I feel like you already know. It's getting a 5 for theme. I mean, the queue is incredibly detailed and themed, the pre-show is fun, and then on the actual attraction itself, you've got so many little nods to different creatures from Harry Potter, both the books and the films. However, on the thrill charts, it's only going to snag a 4. Again, this is my favorite ride in the universe. You should absolutely ride it, but it's not as thrilling as some of the others we've already done, some of the others we're going to do. There's no upside down. It doesn't go near as fast as some of these other ones. It's just more of a darn good time than it is a like, am I gonna die right now kind of feeling. So we're gonna knock it down a point for that on the 4. It gets a 4 though because of that drop, because of the backward section, because of the multiple launches. It's definitely worthy of a 4. So Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure CM, it's a 9. We've got a few more. Next up, from the best Harry Potter attraction to the worst Harry Potter attraction, we are headed to Flight of the Hippogriff. Did you think I was going to say Harry Potter and the Forbidden Journey? It's a great attraction, but it's definitely not a roller coaster. But Flight of the Hippogriff sure is. Flight of the Hippogriff is more of a family-style coaster here in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. It just got a re-theme back when this land was part of the Lost Continent. It had the Dueling Dragons attraction, which they re-themed to Harry Potter, and then it had what is now Flight of the Hippogriff, which they also rethemed to Harry Potter, and then they added in Forbidden Journey. So Flight of the Hippogriff is very simple. You go behind Hagrid's hut, and then you get on this sweet little Hippogriff wicker basket coaster, and you zoom around for a minute. So here we go. Flight of the Hippogriff is a half a step up, I would say, from Woody Woodpecker's Nut House Coaster. Comparing it to Disney rides, I put it like above the Barnstormer, but definitely below like a Slinky Dog or a Seven Doors Mine Train. It's a little bit faster than it looks, especially if you're in the back, but it's not a big thrill ride at all. Now, there are 2 reasons I recommend riding this attraction, if beyond, you've got small kids that can't ride other things. One is right here on the lift hill. You actually get a very, very good view of Hogwarts, especially if you choose to ride this attraction at night. You get a really good view there. And 2, you can't see it from the queue, but there's a very good animatronic of Buckbeak the Hippogriff that you could only see on the attraction. So it does tend to get a little bit longer line. It does have Express Pass, but it will get a longer line when it's busy here because this is the only ride that smaller kids can go on in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter on this side. So it can get a longer line. I don't recommend waiting in that. But I do recommend, if you're a Harry Potter person specifically, not skipping over this one just because you think it's a kid coaster, because again, the view and the Buckbeak are worth it. Flight of the Hippogriff, Okay, theme, we're gonna give it a 3. It's in the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, so by default, it's surrounded by the best theme possible. And I really do have to give it up to the view that you get of Hogwarts Castle. I think the basket with the Hippogriff on it, the ride vehicle itself is cute, and that animatronic of Buckbeak is really stellar. It's one of the best animatronics in the Wizarding World. So for that reason, we're going to give it a 3. It's definitely not as grand or deserving of a 5 like the other Harry Potter coasters, but it's worth a 3. It's worth definitely more than some of the other rides we've been on. It's going to get a 1.5 on the thrill scale, just slightly higher than Woody Woodpeckers. It's a little more fun than it looks. It's a little bit more intense than it looks, and it's a little bit longer than Woody Woodpeckers, but it's definitely not a huge thrill ride, especially, again, compared to Hulk, compared to Hagrid's, compared to the last one we're headed to right now. It's definitely lower on the list. So Harry Potter fans, ride it. If you've got little ones that can't ride anything else, ride it. What do they got in there? King Kong. We have made it into Jurassic Park, home of our final coaster on the list, the newest roller coaster in Universal Orlando, and gonna put up a stiff competition for the top spot on the leaderboard. Jurassic World Velocicoaster is quite the thrill. Features a hanging inversion where those people just went over my head. 155-foot tall top hat right here. 4 inversions, max speed of 70 miles an hour. 2 launches. The first one's 0 to 40. The second one's 40 to 70. Oh, baby, does this one tickle my insides. It makes my stomach drop in the best way possible. So, Jurassic World Velocicoaster, only a 45-minute wait. Let's go. The story and theme behind Velocicoaster is that we are at Jurassic World, just like in the film Jurassic World, but we are there before the Indominus Rex is ready. And remember how they asked Claire? They asked Claire for more teeth, so that was one of the answers, was the Indominus Rex. But before they try the Indominus Rex, before he's ready, they decide to build a roller coaster through the raptor paddock, and that is this roller coaster. So you are going to be hanging on for dear life as those raptors track you. And this is one of the best queues I've ever been in. There are appearances from your favorites. There are lots of Easter eggs from the film franchise, and there are real raptors. I do want to highlight there's no express pass here, so you either want to do this one in the morning or the evening usually. However, as you can see, it only has a 45-minute wait right now. It will drop in the afternoon, especially compared to like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. Tends to stay pretty long. There is a single rider line here, but it can fill to capacity, and much like over at Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM, it doesn't move that much faster. So, and most importantly, you skip the raptors. You skip the incredible queue in totality, pretty much, if you go through the single rider line, so I do not recommend it at all. One thing I do want to highlight about this queue, I'm lucky to be jumping in line when it's not too long, but when it is long, most of this queue out here is in this direct sun, and it is miserably hot out here. So this is one, again, best done early in the morning or wait for it at night. Riding this one at night is a whole other experience. It's even more thrilling. But one thing I also want to point out about this Hulk and Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM is that they all close for inclement weather. So keep that in mind as well, especially as we get into the summer season. They will all have to close for those daily afternoon thunderstorms. So if they're must rides for you, you may want to work on knocking them out early, just so you don't have to worry about the weather as well. Velocicoaster, what an incredible attraction. I did a whole video about it when it reopened, where I highlight a lot of those Easter eggs that are really cool, give you a little bit more detail. Ugh, but it is great. But how does it stack up on the scoreboard? Obviously, Velocicoaster is a hard 5 on the thrill factor. You have that huge 155-foot hill, that hanging inversion, Mosasaurus barrel roll over the water, 2 launches. It is like the most intense, most fun, best roller coaster I've ever been on. And how does it do for theme? Well, it's a hard 5. It's a hard 5. That's a perfect 10. The theming is incredible. This queue is amazing. The animatronic raptors in the queue are unbelievable. The attention to detail, the Easter eggs from the movies. You've got that cup of water. You've got books by Dr. Ian Malcolm and Ellie Sadler and Alan Grant. Doctors. I want to be clear, all 3 of them doctors in their field. That theming carries through the attraction. The only thing I wish, and I've said this before, is that I wish the raptors on the ride actually moved a little bit. But I guess because you're going so fast, they don't really need to. But the pre-show is funny. If you listen closely, there's Easter eggs tying it into other things in the land when you get off of the attraction or when you're done with the ride before you unload. It's just an unbelievable attraction. And while I personally like Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM better because I'm more partial to that franchise, this is a perfect film. Well, friends, there is every single coaster in Universal Orlando. Let's look at the final results. Hopefully that's what's showing right here. My editor didn't put something ridiculous that I'm just now making a face at. I just set him up, didn't I? Yeah. There you have it, a ranking of every single coaster here at Universal Orlando. There are some incredible top-tier attractions here. None better for the thrill seekers than this one right here, Jurassic World Velocicoaster. But you also know I love Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure TM. But also the Hulk is fun, the Mummy is fun, Gringots. There are a lot of thrills here at Universal Orlando. Share which one's your favorite down in the comments. In the meantime, friends, it's been magical. Now go watch Perfect Day at Universal Orlando.